And next up at UFC Perth, we've got Robert Bryczek taking on Rowston. And I got to say, I'm a little bit worried for Rowston in this one. If you go back and look at Bryczek's previous performance against Brad Tavares, he looked much better in that fight. Constant forward pressure, very measured pressure, stalking Brad Tavares on the outside of the cage, and had decent boxing. He doesn't throw a ton of kicks, but the boy can land. He really throws everything into a lot of his punches. He has a lot of volume in those power punches as well. And once he gets you hurt and he smells blood, he goes for the finish. And if you look at that last fight, Brad Tavares is known for having a great chin, and he was able to put Brad Tavares out, not something we're used to seeing very often from Brad Tavares. So Robert Bryczek, I think we got to be worried about this guy here at middleweight. Even though he is 35, you got to look at Rowston's skill set. Trains at City Kickboxing, has decent kicks on the outside, very nice front chokes, darces, anacondas, guillotines, things like that. But I do worry about his kind of tall man defense that he has at times. It's kind of that, City Kickboxing, chin high up in the air, a very traditional kickboxing style. And I worry about the boxing heavy approach here from Robert Bryczek, that he might be able to just kind of corral the pocket, kind of swarm Rowston, where Rowston kind of doesn't move his head off the center line. And Bryczek's able to land with the boxing. We see it from time and time again with guys who are kickboxers that, Israel Adesanya, for example. They struggle with the boxing defense. They're very good when they're out at space and out at range, and they're able to move and kind of flow. Same here for Rowston. If he's able to dart around on the outside, kind of moving his feet, he'll have a lot of success. But I think that Bryczek here might be able to kind of swarm him, land some big power shots, kind of swarming into the pocket when Rowston backs up on a straight line and land some big shots. But I'm going to say that Rowston gets this one done. I think the kicks from the outside are going to be much better than Brad Tavares did. If you go and look at that Brad Tavares fight, he had success with the 1-2. He had success, really pummeling that lead leg. And I don't necessarily think that Brad Tavares' kickboxing is on the level of Rowston's. Rowston, he has nice kicks, whether that be to the body, whether that be to the lead leg. And he can really butcher that front leg of Bryczek, really taking away some of the power, some of the movement of Bryczek. And I think that Rowston dancing around on the outside while Bryczek is kind of just stalking him, he might be able to kind of set traps and kind of land some shots to counter here as Bryczek comes in. So I am going to say Rowston gets this one done. I don't agree with the +2, 205 price tag here of Robert Bryczek. I think this one's closer to 50-50, but I'm going to say that Rowston gets this one done, kind of playing the matador on the outside. And if Bryczek, for whatever reason, does kind of swarm him, he has those front chokes to kind of worry about, or at least threaten to kind of create some space. But give me Rowston here to get this one done out of City Kickboxing. And let's see who Carlos has got in this matchup.
Okay, in this one, I'm going to have to take Rowston to get it done. Bryczek, he has good patient striking, stalking his opponent. He will jab to get the range. He's very relaxed. Stalks his opposition, uses that straight left, right hook combo, or that's just a straight left just to back his opponents up. Rowston, I could see a world where he gets hit, gets dropped. It's happened before with one shot. He gets hurt, gets rocked, doesn't bounce back. Bryczek does have the technique, the power to do so. But I'm going to go with Rowston in this one just because I feel he's got more ways to win. I could see the fact that Bryczek has a wide stance. He's going to rip that calf or the lead leg. He's going to be able to possibly get a single leg, just pick the wide stance. But if he does rip the leg, it's going to force Bryczek to narrow his stance, not have as much leverage on it as he'd like. And I do feel that Rowston just got more ways to win. I could see him taking this to the ground, closing the distance, getting it down, and just forcing Bryczek to work on the ground, whether he's going to use ground and pound or look for a submission. I can just see Rowston being able to control Bryczek. And, in all the exchanges, I would prefer Rowston to stay at length like he normally does. Sometimes he gets a little clumsy. He steps in, but keep everything at range, mostly kicking range, and stay safe. Come in when you're ready to get a takedown. Come in when you're ready to engage. Keep a high guard, and so far he's been able to do that against some opponents, and I don't see this being any different for Bryczek. So I'm going to take Rowston to get it done.